Saturday I spent, well, Sunday really, sorry, not Sunday, trying to create a spline shaft with obviously its matching collar. What I couldn't do was get the ramp lead-ins to the spline. It was a right headache. The problem is that the only way I can do a polar array to produce more than one spline is to use the pocket operation, and to use that I couldn't find a way of, well, you can't, I don't think, ramp the root of the spline, and that was the male bit. So anyway, this is as good as it got. Quite pleased with it really, but it is a problem. I mean, I could do each spline one at a time, but oh dear, what a performance that'd be. I'd be at it forever. I then yesterday got on to sprocket making. I drew one and just basically constructed arcs from parallels, just two arcs for half a tooth, but it didn't look right at all, so I started researching sprockets. I'm using a metric chain, or considering using a metric chain, 12B-1, which they are not really metric at all. They were just converted straight from the imperial, so the numbers, none of them sort of they're massive fractions. Eventually I created this, and quite pleased with it. It kept me out of mischief for about 6 hours. It's not right in that I can't mirror a sketch in FreeCAD. I've not found a way of how to. I looked everywhere. But I did find this wonderful thing, designing and drawing a sprocket. It's American, and Americans always, well, generally their instructional stuff is very, very good. This looks complicated, but when you break it down, like everything else, into its component bits, it's pretty straightforward. The problem is all the decimals and the rounding ups and rounding downs create errors in the sketch, but not to worry. This lot I thought was going to take me half the day to calculate, but then, lo and behold, on reading the thing, I found that they'd done a spreadsheet. It took me a while to find it with Google's help, but it is actually here. If you just enter this in Google, it comes up all dippity-doo. Then of course you just enter your own chain parameters into the spreadsheet, and it does the heavy lifting for you. My chain is actually a 19.05mm pitch. I'm using 30 teeth as they are, and the roller diameter is 12.07 millimeters, of course. You get all this through this, and as I say, it was going very well really. I had to force one tangential constraint, but not by very much, so I didn't bother too much. The problem came when I got this far. Of course, I'd only got half a tooth and half a root, and I wanted a root complete and 2 half teeth. You've also got to be very careful when you're getting rid of the construction lines that you don't get rid of the arc centres. It's very easy to delete those, so you can use the snip tool, but it's much quicker, of course, to box select and delete. If you do delete the arc centres, the job becomes unstable.